If you want members to keep paying you on an ongoing basis, you need to deliver value on an ongoing basis. Long-time listeners of this podcast will have heard me repeat that and bang that drum time and time again. But what is value? How do you offer value to your members? We're going to be talking about that today, and I'm going to be sharing 4 simple but effective ways to deliver massive value to your members that won't require massive effort. That's all coming up in our 3rd and final trip into the vault of the Membership Guys podcast.
You're listening to the Membership Guys podcast, bringing you proven, practical tips and advice from the leading experts on growing a successful membership business each and every week. And now, here's your host, Mike Morrison.
Well, hello there. Welcome to episode 297 of the Membership Guys podcast. I'm your host, Mike Morrison. Thank you for joining me for the 3rd and final episode of our little venture into the vault, into the archive of the Membership Guys podcast. Over the past few weeks, I've been sharing some hand-picked favorites from years gone by here on the Membership Guys podcast, because when you've been podcasting like we have for almost 6 years, each and every week for almost 6 years, then a lot of our best stuff, a lot of the advice that you need to hear, it might be buried way down in that list of episodes. But everything we talk about here on the Membership Guys podcast is timeless. It's evergreen. And so something that we talked about 2 or 3 years ago will still be relevant today. And unless you plan on binge listening to the entire back catalog, then we would hate for you to miss any little golden nuggets that might help you today in your membership. So twice a year, we like to delve back into the archives and pick out a handful of episodes that we feel are worth bringing back to your attention. And today's episode concerns something that is always worth being reminded of. It's always worth looking for fresh perspectives on, about adding value to your members. Because far too often, value and content get mixed up. People confuse creating content with delivering value. And so often membership owners find themselves on this treadmill of grinding out massive amounts of content because they're convinced it's the only way to keep their members happy and ultimately keep them subscribed. But it's not as simple as that. Value and content are very, very different things. And in fact, too much content can work against you. Value can often come from having less. Memberships aren't a competition to see who can give members the most stuff. Nobody joins because you just got a lot of stuff. Value goes so much deeper than that. And often you can deliver a lot of member value for a relatively small amount of effort. So we've gone back into the archives and we pulled out episode 133, in which I look at 4 no-brainer ways that you could be ramping up the value proposition of your membership. So for one final time, let's wind back the clock and let's venture back into the vault of the Membership Guys podcast to episode 133, 4 simple ways to deliver huge value to your members. Now, we all know that memberships are a value exchange. You want people to pay you on an ongoing basis. You need to deliver value on an ongoing basis. It's a mantra that any long-term listeners will have heard me banging the drum for over and over again. You've got to give people a reason to stay subscribed. Now, very often, that value exchange, the value that you provide, typically comes in the form of creating content and serving your community. So putting out deliverables like courses, tutorials, this, that, and the other, as well as showing up every day, answering questions, helping people out inside your forum or your Facebook group. But there are definitely ways in which you can deliver value to members that don't involve you sitting down and churning out a piece of premium content. And actually, some of the biggest value that you can deliver comes from pretty small, pretty quick, easy, simple tactics. So we're going to talk about 4 of those in today's episode. So the first of those is to find a way of giving your members a quick win. Now, so often membership site owners are focused on solving huge problems. We want to teach someone how to master this big strategy or this piece of technology or this musical style. That actually we overlook the fact that most of our members have little niggling problems, little very specific, very small hurdles that they want to get over that perhaps will never come on your radar because they don't justify creating a 3-hour-long course for. Now, these small wins, these opportunities to provide a very quick win, or perhaps you are aware of these sorts of little problems, these little challenges, but maybe you think that they're too small for your membership site to focus on. However, if you can prove to people that you can solve a small problem, they're more likely to trust you with their bigger problems. And so they're more likely to get engaged and to value their membership site. So as an example, I'll talk about what we do inside Member Site Academy. We actually have an entire type of content called quick wins. Now, these are maybe 15 to 30 minute long at most tutorials that zero in on a very specific thing. So that could be a very specific technical thing. As an example, a quick win tutorial we released a couple of weeks ago was how to add a survey into your MemberPress cancellation process. Now that is really specific. We're not going to do a whole course on it because it's not a big enough subject to require a course. And it's also not a relevant enough topic to justify creating a piece of content that's going to take us weeks and weeks of planning and recording and so on. But a 15 to 20 minute long tutorial, yes, this is only going to help a small percentage of our member base, but actually it's quick enough to produce that it justifies only being relevant to a smaller amount. But for the people who it's relevant to, this is massive value because the ability to do what this quick win tutorial enables you to do can have massive implications. So we're delivering massive value through a very simple, very easy to create method of actually serving our members. And we've got a whole bunch of these little quick win tutorials. I love the idea, and so too do our members, by the way, based on the feedback. This has been without doubt one of our most popular features since we introduced it in the Academy. I love the idea of someone going into our list of quick wins and thinking, wow, I can't believe there's actually a tutorial for this thing. Let me sit down and go through it. And 30 minutes later, we've helped them get one step closer to where they want to go, or to fix or solve just one little thing that's been bugging them for months and months and months. Those kind of quick wins are absolute gold. And of course, if you can solve lots of these smaller problems, then the value that that delivers to your members is huge. So think about your own member base. And for a minute, just step aside from the big obvious problems that your membership aims to solve and think about what just little minor irritations, little niggles, little things that are stuck in the craw of your members that it would just be fantastic if you could give them something to watch or some activity to complete for 10, 15, maybe even 30 minutes that would just enable them to cross that off the list. You're bound to have a whole bunch of these things in your member base. And if you don't know what they are, ask your members. Not every problem you need to solve needs to be a huge one. So if you can create some way in your membership to provide that quick, small win to your members, then I can guarantee your members will thank you for it because it's a great, simple way of delivering massive value to your members. Provide quick wins to those small but significant problems. Second simple way of delivering massive value to members is to provide opportunity. More specifically, opportunity to be featured on your platform. If you're doing any form of content marketing, if you're blogging, you're podcasting, try to find ways in which you can provide an opportunity to your members to be featured in some way on your podcast, included in some way on your blog or your Facebook live stream. If you're interviewing experts, for example, on your podcast, could you tap into your member base to bring people onto your show? If your member base are perhaps more beginner level and don't have the sort of experience or the background that you typically would have for your expert guests, perhaps what you could do is 1 episode out of every 4, you could make it a non-expert session. You could make it a member spotlight session where actually you get them on to share their story. And through having a conversation about what they're doing and their background and about how they're involved in your membership, that naturally and organically promotes your membership anyway. So it's a win-win. You're providing value to members by giving them an opportunity to be on your platform and to get their name out to a wider audience. But at the same time, you're also getting that big member win because you're providing social proof for your membership, and you're getting lots of mentions about the benefits of your membership and what's inside your membership without it being overtly a promotion for your membership site. Now, providing this sort of opportunity, whether it is to be in your podcast, maybe it's to get up on stage and speak for 5 or 10 minutes at your live event. Perhaps it's publishing case studies where, again, you only select from your current members as the basis for what you're going to write in your blog articles. All of this sort of stuff, if you have the exclusivity around that opportunity, then again, that's a big, big value add for your membership. So just try and look for any angles where you can give people that platform as a benefit of being a member. It doesn't cost you much. It doesn't really take much time or much effort on your part in order to deliver this massive amount of extra value to your members. The third bit of low-hanging fruit in terms of tactics you can use to deliver that massive value for very little effort is to provide priority or early access to anything else that you're doing. I'm always a big fan of the idea that your members will always get preferential treatment over any other people in your audience. So if you've got a live event coming, your members should be given first dibs on tickets. They should also get it at a slightly discounted price. It doesn't need to be a massive discount, but they certainly should get it at a preferential rate and get it earlier than anybody else. If you're releasing a new book, your members should be able to pre-order it or maybe even get a sample before anybody else, or possibly get an actual copy before it goes on general sale. Going back to that opportunity to be on your platform that we talked about, if you're looking for guests of a particular nature, then your first port of call for that should be to your membership. And only if you don't fulfill your needs from within your membership should you then go out to your email list, your Facebook group, and so on. Again, it's just getting in this habit of always making sure that your members are top of your list in terms of preferential treatment, that they get priority access, they get early access, they always get first dibs, and they always get, wherever feasible, a preferential rate compared to the general public. Again, this adds a massive, massive benefit of being your membership. In fact, if you're doing a lot of live events or you're selling a lot of physical products or something like that, that is a huge, huge feature of your membership. Members will always get 10% discount on tickets for all of our events. Members will always get priority access. There's entire loyalty programs and membership organizations that are centered solely around providing priority access to a variety of different things. So it makes sense if you have other stuff going on within your business that you would potentially look to sell or involve your members in, that these guys should be your priority. Again, this is something we do in our Raw membership. When we do workshops, when we do mastermind days, our members, they're the first ones who get the opportunity to book. They get it at a cheaper rate. In fact, in the past where we've run workshops or masterminds, we've actually had occasions where they never actually opened up to the public because all of the spots were taken by members. And so we never even went beyond promoting it to the membership. But then, of course, we got that double dip. We got that extra marketing win by going out there on social and saying, well, we had planned today on opening registration for our workshop. However, we always give our members first dibs. So there's the marketing win because you're selling the exclusivity to non-members. You're saying, you guys missed out. Our members always get first dibs. It's always a priority. These guys are always in there first. So you get double benefit there. One, you get that massive extra stream of value to your members by them knowing that they will always be first in line. They'll always get it a little bit cheaper. But also you get that marketing win of being able to talk about the fact that you want first access to my stuff, if you want to make sure that you're even in with a shot of getting a copy of my book or booking into an event or whatever, you've got to be a member. So That's method number 3 of delivering massive value to your members. And again, with all this stuff, there's marketing wins on the other side of it as well. Final way of delivering big value is to be a connector. Connect members up with each other. Sometimes one of the most frustrating things will be to find the right person to satisfy a particular need in your business or in your personal life or, with your hobby. It might be looking for an accountability partner or a practice partner. It might be looking for a supplier or a mentor or someone with particular skills and expertise. As the leader of your membership community, you're probably going to have the widest view of who's in your membership. You're going to have private communications with members. Chances are in those early days, if someone joins your site, you're probably going to see if they provide any information that will enable you to just get to know a little bit more about them. Maybe if you've got their social media, Twitter handle or something like that, you might have a quick look and just get an idea of who's joined your membership so you have a better idea of, first, how to serve them, but second, a better broad idea of what sort of skill sets and what sort of personalities and abilities and all that sort of stuff exists in your membership. Use that position to the benefit of your members. If you know that there's someone, maybe 2 or 3 people in your membership that could help other people, bring these guys together, either publicly within the membership itself or privately. You don't have to answer every question that's posted in your community. If you know that there's someone else who would have insight that maybe you don't have, or maybe even you do have, but you just want to get away from this idea that the definitive answer to every question has to come from you, tag these guys. If you're in a Facebook group or if you're using forum software like IPboard or Zenforo that lets you tag other members, somebody's asked a question about Facebook ads and you're not a Facebook ad specialist, but you know that there are 2 or 3 people who know what they're doing with Facebook ads in your membership, tag those guys instead of trying to answer the question yourself. If someone is looking to hire a Facebook ad specialist, introduce these people. If you know that they're members from a similar geographical area or in a similar industry and they could learn from each other and maybe even connect offline, try and facilitate that. It just requires you to have that ear to the ground in terms of who's in your membership. And if you don't have the time or the capacity or the ability to do that, then that's where you might hire a community manager who can have as part of their role the responsibility to actually just maintain a good overview of who's who and to be on the lookout for opportunities to connect people. Being that sort of connector, fulfilling that role for your members can be massively, massively valuable. Even if just to save them time in finding the right person or to save them from getting burned by choosing the wrong person. Or even just bringing people together. Ultimately, that's what your membership is largely about anyway. So if you can grease the wheels of that, then that, again, is a huge value add for your members. So those are just 4 simple ways of delivering massive value to your members that don't require you to sit down and grind out a 2 or 3 hour long course or to go on a live webinar for 90 minutes. These are quick, simple, easy things you can do that can have a massive impact in terms of how much value someone gets from your membership. Look for ways to provide quick wins to the smaller problems that, while small, can still be significant and can definitely give you a massive amount of goodwill if you can help people tick those boxes. Maybe even turn it into a type of content deliverable like we did with our quick win tutorials inside MemberSite Academy. Number 2, give people the opportunity to be on your platform that otherwise wouldn't be available to non-members. Number 3, make sure you're giving priority, preferential access and rates and pricing to anything else that you're doing to your members. And finally, become a connector for your member base. Bring people together and embrace that as part of your role as community leader. All right, I hope you got value from learning about how to deliver value. That was the 3rd and final little trip into the vault for this run of episodes. Hopefully you found this and the last few weeks' episodes from the vault useful. We're going to be back next week with a brand new, fresh, shiny episode just for you. In the meantime, though, I just want to say thank you so much for listening. We really, really appreciate you spending part of your day with us and for supporting the podcast. If you are new to the Membership Guys podcast, make sure you've hit the subscribe button in your podcast app. If you are a long-term listener, I appreciate you. I love the fact you continue to show up and support us, and I hope you'll continue to do so forevermore. If you enjoyed today's show, please share it with a friend, share it on social, spread the word, and we would also, if you've got a minute or two spare, be eternally grateful if you would consider leaving an honest and positive, nice, shiny 5-star review for the show in iTunes and Spotify, Stitcher, whatever it is you use to listen to podcasts. Those reviews are extremely helpful when it comes to reaching our audience, and we read each and every one personally. They mean so much to us. So if you do have a chance to leave a review, and if you're so inclined, this all assumes that you enjoy the show, but I do assume if you didn't enjoy the show, you wouldn't be listening to this bit at the end anyway. So, that's it from me for this week. I'll be back again next week with another installment of the Membership Guys podcast. If you enjoyed this week's episode of the Membership Guys podcast, we invite you to check out membershipacademy.com. The Membership Academy is the essential resource for anyone at any stage of starting, growing, and running a membership website. Whether you're still trying to figure out what your idea is going to be, or whether your website's already up and running and you're just looking for ways to grow it and attract new members, then the Membership Academy can help you to get to the next level. With our extensive course library, step-by-step membership roadmap, exclusive member-only discount perks and tools, as well as our supportive, active community that will help you along the way with feedback, encouragement, and advice, the Membership Academy is the perfect place to be for anyone looking to start, manage, and grow a successful membership business. Check it out at membershipacademy.com.